Assalamu Alaikum. There are people listening to this right now who secretly wonder if they will spend the rest of their lives alone. People who smile in front of others while carrying fears they never speak about. People who congratulate others on their engagements and weddings, then return to their rooms and cry quietly to Allah, asking, Ya Rab, when will it be my turn? Will anyone ever truly choose me? Will someone ever love me for who I am? If that is you, then please listen carefully, because what I am about to say may be exactly what your heart needs to hear tonight. You are not forgotten. Your tears have not gone unnoticed. Your late-night du'as have not disappeared into the sky, and your story is not over. Because the Allah who knows the number of stars in the heavens also knows the name of the person written for you. He knows where they are. He knows the prayers they whisper after Tahajjud. He knows the qualities they are asking for. And He knows why He has asked you to wait. Perhaps, while you have been questioning your worth, someone you have never met has been asking Allah for a heart exactly like yours. Perhaps, while you feared that love had passed you by, Allah was protecting you from what was not meant for you and preparing what was. So before you lose hope, before you convince yourself that you have been forgotten, stay with me until the end of this reminder, because maybe someone loves you more deeply than you realize. And maybe, just maybe, Allah is writing a love story far more beautiful than anything you could have planned for yourself. Allah is writing a love story you cannot see. One of the hardest things for the human heart is accepting that it cannot control everything. We want certainty. We want timelines. We want clear answers. We want signs that tell us exactly when things will happen and how they will happen. We want Allah to show us the entire road before we take the first step. We want to know who we will marry, when they will arrive, and why the waiting has taken so long. But Allah often teaches us trust before He reveals the outcome. That is what faith has always been. Faith means believing that Allah is working even when you cannot see it. It means trusting that His silence is not His absence. It means understanding that just because something has not happened yet does not mean it never will. Right now, you only know the small part of the story that is in front of you. You know the tears you cried. You know the loneliness you sometimes feel. You know the moments you questioned your worth. You know the nights when you wondered if anyone would ever truly choose you. But Allah sees what you cannot see. He knows every conversation taking place across this earth. He knows the prayers being whispered in the darkness before Fajr. He knows the hearts that are slowly healing from past disappointments. He knows the people who have stopped asking for temporary attraction and started asking for genuine goodness. He knows who is learning patience after heartbreak. He knows who is becoming softer through hardship. He knows who is growing closer to Him and asking Him to bless them with a righteous spouse. And while you are sitting there wondering, will anyone ever love me deeply? Allah already sees the complete picture. He sees the person who raises their hands and says, Ya Allah, grant me someone who fears you. Someone who is gentle in their words. Someone who treats people with mercy. Someone who remains loyal when life becomes difficult. Someone who protects trust instead of breaking it. Someone who knows how to apologize. Someone who chooses understanding over pride. Someone who brings peace instead of chaos. Perhaps they have cried over disappointments just like you have. Perhaps they have experienced loneliness too. Perhaps they have also looked around and wondered if they had been forgotten. But while both of you are asking questions, Allah already knows the answers. The truth is, some of the most beautiful things Allah gives us are being prepared long before they arrive. A seed remains hidden beneath the soil before it becomes a tree. The sunrise exists before your eyes can witness it. Rain clouds gather before the first drop falls from the sky. In the same way, Allah may be preparing blessings you cannot yet touch, not because He wants to hurt you, not because He has forgotten you, but because some blessings need time. Some hearts need healing. Some people need growth. Some stories need preparation before they unfold the way Allah intends. You may look at your life and think nothing is happening. You may believe your story is empty because you cannot see the next chapter. But the unseen is not empty. It is simply hidden. Allah is still arranging what you cannot arrange. He is still protecting you from what you do not understand. He is still answering prayers in ways your limited vision cannot recognize. And Allah, the author of your story, never abandons the ending He intends to write. So if your heart is growing tired from waiting, do not lose hope. Just because you cannot see Allah working does not mean He has stopped working. Sometimes the greatest acts of Allah's mercy happen quietly behind the curtain of the unseen. And one day, when the timing is right, you may look back at every unanswered question, every delay, and every lonely night, and realize that Allah was guiding your story with perfect wisdom all along. The person meant for you may already be praying for you. There is something incredibly beautiful about sincere dua that many of us forget. Dua does not only change situations, sometimes it prepares people for each other long before they ever meet. Think about that for a moment. While you are living your life, carrying your own worries, fighting your own battles, and wondering what your future will look like, there may be someone somewhere on this earth doing exactly the same thing. Someone who has also experienced disappointment. Someone who knows what it feels like to trust the wrong people. Someone who has cried after giving their heart where it did not belong. Someone who has watched others get married while quietly asking Allah, "When will my time come?" Someone who has felt lonely even in a crowded room. Someone who has questioned whether they would ever find a love that brings peace instead of pain. And because of those experiences, their prayers have changed. They are no longer asking Allah only for beauty. They are no longer asking for status, wealth, or the things this world constantly praises. Life has taught them what truly matters. Now, their dua sounds different. Ya Allah, grant me someone who fears you even when no one is watching. Grant me someone whose heart is soft. Grant me someone who is patient when life becomes difficult. Grant me someone who knows how to be loyal. Grant me someone who speaks gently. Grant me someone who protects my dignity. Grant me someone who will help me reach Jannah. Subhanallah. What if the qualities they are asking for already exist within you? What if the kindness you show people without expecting anything in return is exactly what someone has been praying for? What if your ability to forgive after being hurt is something another person desperately hopes to find? What if your modesty, your sincerity, your compassion toward your parents, your love for Allah, and your desire to improve yourself are the very things being mentioned in someone's dua tonight? The truth is, we often overlook our own beauty because we compare ourselves to the standards of this world. The world tells you that you must look a certain way to be loved, that you must reach a certain age, have a certain status, own certain things, be more attractive, more successful, more impressive. But Allah teaches us something entirely different. The Prophet taught us that people are chosen for different reasons, but faith and character hold lasting value. Because beauty changes, youth fades, money comes and goes, but a beautiful heart remains beautiful. A person who is honest during hardship remains honest. A person who chooses mercy over cruelty remains a blessing. A person who remains loyal when circumstances become difficult is rare. Never underestimate the value of good character. Never think your softness is weakness. Never believe your loyalty is ordinary. Never assume your efforts to please Allah go unnoticed. Allah sees every act of sincerity. He sees the moments you lower your gaze for His sake. He sees the tears you hide from people. He sees the times you choose patience instead of anger. He sees the nights you ask Him to purify your heart. And perhaps, while He is shaping you through these experiences, He is shaping someone else too. Perhaps there is a woman asking Allah to send her a man who will protect her heart instead of breaking it. A man who will lead with kindness instead of harshness. A man who will make her feel safe. A man who remembers Allah during times of ease and hardship. Or perhaps there is a man asking Allah for a woman whose beauty is matched by her faith. A woman who brings peace into his home. A woman who reminds him of Allah when he forgets. A woman who chooses gratitude over complaints and loyalty over selfishness. Maybe both of you are making dua under the same sky. Both of you are asking Allah for each other without realizing it. Both of you are learning patience. Both of you are healing from what hurt you. Both of you are becoming the people you need to be before entering each other's lives. And maybe this is why Allah has not rushed your story, because real love is not only about finding the right person, it is also about becoming the right person. The love blessed by Allah is not built upon desperation. It is not built upon chasing attention. It is not built upon fear of loneliness. It is built upon sincerity. It is built upon dua. It is built upon trust. It is built upon two hearts that choose Allah first and then find each other through His mercy. So if you have been feeling forgotten, remember this. You may not know who is praying for you. You may not know where they are. You may not know when Allah will bring your paths together, but Allah knows. He hears every dua. He counts every tear. He understands every longing hidden deep within the human heart. And perhaps, at this very moment, While you are listening to these words and wondering whether anyone could truly love you deeply, there is someone somewhere raising their hands to the sky and asking Allah for a person exactly like you. Not a perfect person, not someone without flaws, but someone sincere, someone genuine, someone striving to please Allah, someone whose heart still carries kindness despite everything it has been through. Someone like you. And if Allah placed that longing inside your heart, then never lose hope in the one who created it, because the one who writes destinies knows exactly how to bring two praying hearts together at the most beautiful and perfect time. Why Allah delays. The love your heart longs for waiting is one of the hardest tests of the human heart, especially when what you are waiting for is not something sinful or selfish. You are not asking Allah for fame. You are not asking for the admiration of the world. You are asking for companionship, for love that is halal, for a hand to hold through the journey of life, for someone who will stand beside you in prayer, for someone who will make the difficult days easier and the beautiful days even more meaningful. You are asking for a home filled with mercy, for laughter after hardship, for a heart that finally feels understood. And because your desire is pure, you sometimes wonder why it has not happened yet. You ask yourself questions that quietly break your own heart. Ya Allah, what is wrong with me? Have you forgotten me? Am I not worthy of being chosen? Why does everyone else seem to be moving forward while I remain here waiting? You see engagement announcements, wedding photos, happy families, people younger than you finding companionship. And if you are not careful, comparison begins to steal your peace. You start measuring Allah's love for you by the speed of someone else's story. You assume that because another person's blessing arrived sooner, they must somehow be more deserving. But that is not how Allah works. Allah does not love one servant more simply because their story unfolded earlier. Different stories have different timings. Different hearts require different preparations. Different destinies arrive at different moments. A flower does not bloom at the same time as every other flower in the garden. Yet each one blossoms exactly when Allah intends. The moon does not compete with the sun. The rain does not apologize for arriving after the wind. Everything Allah creates unfolds according to His wisdom, including your story. The truth is, sometimes Allah delays what you desperately want because He is protecting you from what you cannot see. Think about the people you once begged Allah to keep in your life, the people you cried over, the people you thought you could not live without. If Allah had answered every prayer exactly the way you wanted at the time you wanted it, where would you be today? How many heartbreaks were actually rescues? How many closed doors were acts of mercy? How many disappointments saved you from years of regret? There are people who entered marriages before they were emotionally ready. People who ignored red flags because they feared being alone. People who settled for attention because they confused it with love. People who sacrificed their values because they were tired of waiting. Sometimes we think we are waiting for love, but in reality, Allah is protecting us from choosing out of desperation instead of wisdom. Maybe if this blessing had arrived 5 years ago, you would not have recognized its value. Maybe you would have chosen based only on attraction. Maybe you would have ignored character. Maybe you would have accepted treatment that slowly damaged your heart. Allah knew what you did not know. Perhaps He needed to teach you self-respect first. Perhaps He needed to strengthen your relationship with Him. Perhaps He needed to heal wounds from your past. Perhaps He needed to remove people from your life who would have distracted you from what He truly intended for you. And perhaps while He was preparing you, He was preparing the other person too. Maybe they were immature. Maybe they were healing from their own heartbreak. Maybe they were learning lessons through hardship. Maybe they were becoming the person they needed to be before meeting you. Imagine meeting someone before either of you had learned patience. Imagine finding each other before either of you had turned back to Allah. Imagine building a future together before both of your hearts understood gratitude, sacrifice, forgiveness, and mercy. Would that relationship have survived? Only Allah knows. But Allah never rushes what requires preparation. The world tells you that being late means you are losing. That if you have not reached a certain milestone by a certain age, something is wrong with you. But Allah's timing is not controlled by society's expectations. Your worth is not determined by a calendar. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are simply living the story Allah wrote specifically for you. And the one who wrote your story knows exactly when each chapter should begin. There is a beautiful peace that comes when you stop fighting the timing of Allah. Instead of asking, "Why is this taking so long?" you begin asking, "Ya Allah, prepare me for what you are preparing for me." Instead of seeing delay as abandonment, you begin seeing it as protection. Instead of viewing waiting as emptiness, you begin viewing it as growth. Because some of the most important work Allah does happens in seasons nobody applauds. In the quiet nights, in unanswered prayers, in lonely moments, in tears nobody else sees. That is where patience is born. That is where trust deepens. That is where hearts become softer. That is where people learn that Allah alone is enough before He blesses them with what they desire. One day, perhaps sooner than you realize, Allah may place you exactly where you once dreamed of being. You may sit beside the person written for you. You may watch your children laugh. You may experience the peace you prayed for during countless nights of uncertainty. And suddenly, the waiting that once felt unbearable will begin to make sense. You will understand why certain people had to leave, why certain doors remained closed, why some prayers seemed delayed, why Allah asked you to be patient when every part of your heart wanted immediate answers. You will look back with tears in your eyes and whisper, "Ya Allah, if you had given me what I wanted when I wanted it, I would have missed the beauty of what you had planned instead." The delay was never rejection. The waiting was never proof that you were forgotten. It was Allah's mercy guiding your story toward an ending more beautiful than anything your limited heart could have imagined. So if your heart is tired tonight, hold on a little longer, trust a little deeper, pray a little more sincerely, because what Allah delays with wisdom is always more beautiful than what we rush with impatience. And when the right moment arrives, you will realize that Allah was never making you wait without reason. He was making everything ready. You have no idea how valuable you truly are. One of the saddest things that can happen to a person is not losing the love of others. It is losing the ability to see their own worth. Somewhere along the way, many people quietly begin believing that they are difficult to love. Maybe it happened after someone walked away. Maybe it happened after being rejected. Maybe it happened after watching someone choose another person over you. Maybe it happened because the people you loved failed to appreciate your heart. And little by little, without even realizing it, you started changing the way you see yourself. You stopped looking at yourself through the mercy of Allah. You started looking at yourself through the opinions of people. You began to believe that if someone did not choose you, then perhaps you were not enough. Not attractive enough, not successful enough, not interesting enough, not worthy enough. And those thoughts settled deep inside your heart. Now every disappointment feels like proof. Every unanswered message feels personal. Every delay feels like rejection. Every wedding invitation reminds you of what you do not have. And you quietly ask yourself questions that nobody else hears. What is wrong with me? Why wasn't I enough? Why do people leave me? Will anyone ever truly love me? But dear brothers and sisters, what if the problem was never your worth? What if the problem was that you handed imperfect people the authority to decide how valuable you are? Human beings are limited. They see fragments. Allah sees the whole picture. People judge based on moments. Allah judges based on sincerity. People overlook treasures because they are distracted by appearances. Allah sees what is hidden inside hearts. The person who ignored your kindness was not given the ability to define your value. The person who left was not given permission to decide your worth. The person who failed to recognize your goodness was never appointed as the judge of your importance. Only Allah knows your true value. And Allah created you intentionally. There is not a single part of you that was created by accident. Your sensitivity, your compassion, your ability to care deeply, the way you notice when others are hurting, the way you still make dua for people who disappointed you, the way you continue helping your family even when you feel exhausted, the way you hold yourself together while carrying pain nobody knows about, the way you continue turning back to Allah after making mistakes, the way you still hope after heartbreak. These things matter. These things are beautiful. These things have value. You survived days you thought would destroy you. You carried burdens that nobody else understood. You cried tears that only Allah witnessed. You fought battles within your own heart and still woke up the next morning trying to be kind to people. That is not weakness, that is strength. The world often celebrates loud achievements, followers, beauty, money, status, attention. But some of the most beautiful people in the sight of Allah are the ones nobody notices. The person who remains honest when lying would be easier. The person who lowers their gaze for Allah. The person who forgives when revenge feels justified. The person who keeps their heart soft in a world that taught them to become hard. The person who chooses faith over temptation. The person who quietly says, Ya Allah, help me become better. You may not realize it, but these small acts are building a beauty inside your soul that no passing years can take away. Physical beauty changes, youth fades, wealth rises and falls, popularity disappears, but beautiful character becomes even more precious with time. Do not reduce yourself to what the mirror reflects. You are more than your appearance. Do not reduce yourself to your marital status. You are more than a relationship. Do not reduce yourself to your mistakes. You are more than your worst moments. Do not reduce yourself to someone else's rejection. You are more than another person's inability to recognize your worth. Sometimes Allah removes people because they were not capable of appreciating the gift He placed within you. Not everyone deserves access to your heart. Not everyone understands how to care for something valuable. A person who walks past a diamond without noticing it does not decrease the diamond's worth. The diamond remains precious. Likewise, the wrong people failing to choose you does not mean the right person never will. In fact, the person Allah has written for you may one day thank Him for bringing you into their life. They may admire your patience, your loyalty, your gentleness, your sincerity, your ability to remain faithful to Allah despite life's hardships. They may appreciate the very qualities you once tried to hide because others failed to value them. Subhanallah, how many blessings have we criticized because we forgot who created them? Allah fashioned you with wisdom. Allah gave you your personality. Allah gave you your strengths. Allah knows your weaknesses. Allah knows your fears. And despite knowing everything about you, He continues inviting you back to Him with mercy. How can you believe you are unworthy of love when the most merciful never turns away from your sincere repentance? How can you call yourself worthless when Allah still listens to your whispered du'as in the middle of the night? How can you say nobody wants you when Allah Himself says that He is near to those who call upon Him? The next time your heart tells you that you are not enough, remember this. You do not need to earn the right to have dignity. You do not need another person's approval to become valuable. You do not need everyone's admiration to deserve love. You were honored the day Allah created you. You were worthy before the world gave its opinions. You were valuable before someone rejected you, and you remain valuable even now. So stop speaking about yourself with cruelty. Stop apologizing for taking up space in this world. Stop assuming you are too broken to be loved. You are a servant of Allah, a soul created by the most loving, a heart capable of kindness, growth, and faith. And perhaps the person written for you is not searching for perfection at all. Perhaps they are praying for someone real, someone sincere, someone who keeps trying, someone who falls and returns to Allah, someone whose heart still knows how to love despite everything it has been through, someone exactly like you. Never forget this. Your value does not decrease because someone failed to recognize it, and the one who created your heart has never once questioned its worth. What is written for you will never pass you by. There comes a moment in every believer's life when they grow tired of trying to control everything, tired of overthinking, tired of analyzing every sign, tired of wondering if they said the wrong thing, made the wrong choice, or somehow ruined the future they were praying for, tired of carrying the heavy burden of trying to manage what only Allah has the power to manage. Perhaps you know exactly what that feels like. You replay conversations in your mind. You question decisions you made years ago. You wonder if you missed your chance. You ask yourself if the person meant for you has already walked past you and disappeared forever. You think about the opportunities that slipped away, the people who left, the relationships that never became what you hoped they would become. And sometimes, fear whispers into your heart, what if it is too late? What if I missed what Allah had written for me? What if I made too many mistakes? What if everyone else finds happiness except me? But dear brothers and sisters, one of the most comforting truths in Islam is this: what Allah has written for you cannot miss you, and what misses you was never written for you. Read that again in your heart. What Allah has written for you cannot miss you. No person can steal your rizq. No delay can erase your destiny. No rejection can cancel what Allah has already decreed. No human being has the power to close a door that Allah has decided to open. The one who controls the heavens and the earth is the same one who writes your story. And His decree is never confused. His wisdom never fails. His timing is never late. Sometimes we exhaust ourselves trying to force outcomes because we think everything depends on us. We chase people who continue walking away. We beg for explanations from hearts that have already left. We hold tightly to doors Allah keeps closing, not because we are weak, but because we are afraid. Afraid that if we let go, there will be nothing left for us. Afraid that this was our only chance. Afraid that we will end up alone. But faith teaches us something different. Faith teaches us that what belongs to us does not require us to betray ourselves to keep it. You do not have to lose your dignity to receive what Allah has written for you. You do not have to compromise your values to secure your destiny. You do not have to beg for love that Allah intends to place gently in your hands. You do not have to chase what Allah already knows how to deliver. Sometimes the greatest act of worship is surrender, not giving up on your dua, not losing hope, but surrendering the outcome, saying, Ya Allah, I will continue asking you, but I trust your choice more than my own. Ya Allah, if this person is good for my dunya and ahira, bring them close to me. And if they are not, remove them from my heart and replace them with something better. That kind of trust changes a person, because suddenly, your peace is no longer attached to a specific outcome. Your peace becomes attached to Allah Himself. You begin to understand that even unanswered prayers are answers. Even closed doors carry mercy. Even detours carry guidance. Even heartbreak can become protection. Think about the moments in your life that once shattered you. The opportunities you desperately wanted. The people you thought you could never live without. The plans you begged Allah to fulfill. Then time passed, and one day, you realized that losing those things did not destroy you. In fact, some of them saved you. You discovered truths you could not see while standing in the middle of your pain. You understood why Allah redirected your path. You recognized blessings hidden inside disappointments. And maybe one day, you will understand this chapter too. Maybe one day, you will sit beside the person Allah wrote for you. You will hear them laugh. You will make dua together. You will look across the dinner table and remember the nights you cried yourself to sleep, wondering if this day would ever come. You will remember the loneliness, the waiting, the fears, the unanswered questions, and tears may fill your eyes as you realize that Allah was never withholding goodness from you. He was guiding you toward it. He was protecting your future while you mourned your present. He was saving you from people who would have wounded your heart. He was teaching you patience before blessing you with responsibility. He was strengthening your faith before answering your prayer. And perhaps the love you thought had been delayed was actually being perfected by the one who knows exactly what your heart needs. Subhanallah, how many times have we mistaken Allah's wisdom for Allah's absence? How many times have we called something a delay when Allah called it preparation? How many times have we feared losing what Allah had already secured for us? The truth is, Allah does not need perfect circumstances to fulfill His decree. He can bring two people together from opposite sides of the world. He can place love in hearts unexpectedly. He can open doors no human being imagined possible. He can create ease where there was once difficulty. He says, be, and it is. So why carry the burden of trying to control what was never yours to control? Continue making dua. Continue becoming the person you pray to find. Continue protecting your heart. Continue choosing Allah, even on the days when waiting feels heavy. Continue believing in His mercy, even when your eyes cannot yet see the answer. Because your story did not begin with people. It began with Allah, and it will never leave His care. The love written for you knows your address, even if you do not know where it is today. The person meant for you cannot accidentally belong to someone else. The provision written for you cannot be stolen by another person's beauty, wealth, status, or timing. If Allah has written it, no force in this world can take it away. And if Allah has not written it, no amount of chasing will bring peace to your heart. So release the fear. Release the desperation, release the need to understand every detail, and replace it with trust. Trust the one who created your heart. Trust the one who hears every dua whispered through tears. Trust the one who knows the love you need before you even know how to ask for it. Perhaps tonight, instead of asking, Ya Allah, when? Ask, Ya Allah, help me trust you while I wait. Ya Allah, prepare my heart for what you have prepared for me. Ya Allah, never let me run after what is not meant for me. And Ya Allah, grant me what is written for me with peace, barakah, and goodness, because what Allah has written for you has never been lost. It has never forgotten your name. It has never taken the wrong path. It is moving toward you through the wisdom of Al-Hakim, the most wise. And when it finally arrives, you will understand that every delay, every tear, every unanswered question, and every moment of patience led you exactly where Allah intended you to be. For the believer, destiny is never late. It arrives exactly on time. And Allah has always been writing your story with love, mercy, and perfect wisdom. Dear brothers and sisters, if there is one thing I hope you carry with you after listening to these words, let it be this: you are not forgotten, not by Allah, not for a single moment. Perhaps people overlooked your heart. Perhaps someone failed to recognize your value. Perhaps you loved sincerely and were met with disappointment. Perhaps you are tired of waiting, tired of pretending that the loneliness does not affect you, tired of smiling when people ask questions you no longer know how to answer, tired of wondering if your turn will ever come. But Allah sees the tears you never explain to anyone. He hears the du'as you whisper after everyone else has fallen asleep. He knows the nights when your heart feels heavy and your faith feels tested. He knows the moments you scroll through other people's happiness and quietly ask, Ya Allah, what about me? And maybe tonight, Allah wants you to remember that your story is not over. The chapter you are living in right now is not the final chapter. The waiting is not the ending. The loneliness is not the ending. The disappointment is not the ending. There are pages Allah has not allowed you to read yet. Pages filled with mercy you cannot imagine. Pages filled with prayers being answered in ways you never expected. Pages that will one day explain why certain people left, why certain doors closed, and why certain delays were necessary. One day, by the permission of Allah, you may look into the eyes of the person written for you and realize that every tear had a purpose. Every heartbreak taught you something. Every delay protected you from something. Every lonely night brought you closer to Allah. And you will say with a grateful heart, Ya Allah, if you had given me what I wanted when I wanted it, I would have missed the beauty of what you had prepared instead. Until that day arrives, do not lose hope. Keep making dua, keep choosing Allah, keep protecting your heart from bitterness. Keep becoming the person you are asking Allah to bless someone else with. Continue loving with sincerity. Continue trusting with faith. Continue walking toward Allah, even if your steps feel small. Because the one who placed this longing inside your heart is not cruel. He is Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. He is Al-Wadud, the most loving. And He knows exactly how to fulfill your story at the most perfect time. So tonight, place your fears in the hands of Allah. Place your future in the hands of Allah. Place the questions you cannot answer in the hands of Allah. And say, Ya Allah, I trust you more than I trust my own understanding. If love is written for me, bring it to me in a way that brings me closer to you. Make it pure, make it peaceful, and make it a source of barakah in this life and the next. And if I must wait a little longer, then let my heart never grow tired of hoping in your mercy. Ameen. If this reminder touched your heart, then remember to subscribe to Deenpedia and join our growing family. Together we remind one another that no heart is unseen, no sincere dua is unheard, and no believer is ever forgotten by Allah. Until we meet again, take care of your heart, stay close to your prayers, and never doubt that Allah is writing something beautiful for you. Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.